Welcome to What's Happening, where we focus on events happening right here in the City of Lynn. Here with me today, we have John Ford and Peter Capano, advocates with the organization Stop the Violence, Lynn, Mass. Guys, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
So I want to talk about the organization briefly, and I want to talk about the event. This is the second annual Walk for Peace. It's going to be held on Saturday, September 26th from 4 to 6 p.m. It will start at Barry Park and end at the gazebo at the Lynn Commons. Second annual. You guys had some success last year. We're going to talk about that, but first and foremost, let's talk about you and your responsibilities. John, we'll start with you.
Well, I'm a member of the school committee, and I've been involved with Freddie Hogan over the last several years, running basketball events, and he's like the Pied Piper of Lynn. He can throw together a basketball tournament in a matter of minutes. And it all started with Freddie's idea. Peter, myself, Rob Smith, Antonio Gutierrez, and Freddie all met down at Dunkin' Donuts on Linway a year ago, January. Yeah. And that's how this all came about. We decided, Freddie was pretty upset with the fact that so many kids in Lynn were getting killed and it was too much violence, and he really wanted to do something about it. And we got together that day, and the organization sprung from that.
All right. Peter?
Yeah, you know, just like John said, I'm a city councilor in Lynn. I work with Freddie and John over the years on running youth events in the summertime, basketball tournaments especially. And Antonio has been a big help, in the ward where, there's been some things going on. And I think that the group sort of formalizes relationship. Everybody has a strong conviction that we could be doing a lot more to stem the violence, in the city. And this is a good group that sort of puts it together and formalizes it and gives us the opportunity to put some events together. I always think of Joe Pagano from the school department. He sort of made it cool to be in the band.
He did.
When I was a kid, you didn't want to be in the band. We wanted to be cool. The cool thing is not to get involved in gangs, not to get involved in violence. The cool thing is to be doing the right thing. And we're trying to promote that. And the march is one way to do that.
I think you guys are cool, definitely.
Oh, thanks.
I think you guys are cool.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, I mean, what really speaks volumes to me is that this organization's only been around for a year, and the demand for it has grown substantially within less than a year. I mean, now you guys got 2 events coming up, but the Walk for Peace is going to, it's going to be a pillar in Lynn. It really is. And guys like Fred Hogan, guys like Antonio Gutierrez, they're able to really identify with the kids in a different type of relationship. I mean, it's great, wear a tie every day to work, but like kids are like, guy's got a tie on, he's not gonna really be able to talk to me. But these guys are engaging the community. They're out there and they're doing it. So, you guys are 2 pretty smart guys in Lynn. So when you're on board, it usually speaks a lot more volume too. I wanna talk about the walk. Now, this is the 2nd annual walk. Last year, you guys had some success. Can you speak to any numbers? How many people showed up? How well it was? What was available?
Well, we started. We were going to. We were hoping to get 100. That was, a small hope, but we thought that'd be a good showing for the first march. I think we ended up with about 500. The Lynn police were phenomenal. They were trying to keep us on the sidewalks, and that couldn't be done. The crowd was just too big, so we ended up basically taking the street, Essex Street, Chatham Street, from Lynn English down to the steps of Lynn City Hall. It was a lot of Pop Warner kids from East Lynn, but it was amazing how it grew. People were actually coming out of their house, sitting on the porch, cheering us on, jumping in the march. It was bizarre. It was fantastic.
Peter, do you expect the numbers to grow this year?
I would expect that they would grow based on the response so far and the effect that the march had last time. And the last time we focused on East Lynn. This time we're going to focus on West Lynn. And like John said, it was a really successful march. I still have a picture of Big Rob Smith leading leading the crowd down. Had 6 people were coming out of their house. They came with us down to City Hall. We had a nice speaker event over at City Hall. I think this year will be as big or probably bigger. That's what I think.
Rick Starbutt had got a nice banner that we walked behind, holding the banner, Stop the Violence, Lynn, March for Peace, and it. I'm sure we'll use that again this year.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just amazing the interest that the organization had taken on. Like Freddie will tell you later that we're up to like 700 hits on Facebook. People that want to be part of Stop the Violence, Lynn. And after one of the basketball tournaments, we had a little parent group that showed up surprisingly the day after, and a lot of parents came out. There is a real desire in this community to try and give the kids an alternative to violence. You know, it sounds cliche, but if we can save one kid, you know, that's kind of what I think we're hoping to do. Hope we'll save a lot more. But
well, if you guys are doing this, and if nobody steps up and actually tries to do this, it's like, how do you know that kid's going to be saved? I mean, today everybody's got their opinions on gun laws and things like that, but I think what we really need to focus on are raising contributing citizens. And you know, guys who are in the community like Antonio and Fred and Rob, they're there to hear these kids and listen to them, and they feel comfortable. They're like, I can speak to this guy. He's not going to go rat on me. He's not going to go tell on me, but he's also going to give me the rap if it's deserving. You know, if I'm doing something wrong, you know, it's important to have those types of people in your life. Hey, you're not always right, okay? You need to really focus on what the golden rule is, really how things should be run. You know, do unto those as though you'd want them to do to you. And if we could all just follow that rule, then everything would be hunky-dory. But the problem is that there are people out there with different motives, to different objectives, different agendas. So now this year, it's going to be held at Barry Park to start Saturday, September 26th. Allocate 2 hours, 4 to 6 p.m. You can reach out to these guys at Gmail, stoptheviolence@gmail.com. You can also find them on Facebook at Facebook/StopTheViolence:Lynn. Now this year, the walk is dedicated. Let's talk about that.
Okay. Yeah.
it was a young lady that was killed in Revere. She was a Lynn Tech graduate, and we've got her picture on the shirts, and the members of the family will speak. This was, I think, Rob Smith and Freddie's idea. You know, I'm kind of like the senior mentor of the group. Most of my generation isn't playing basketball right now, so
why not?
Because of the aches and pains afterwards.
Yeah.
But you know, that's why you need your Freddies and your Antonios and your Rob Smiths. They're out there with the kids, and they deal with the kids.
You have to really credit the family for coming and speaking at this. I mean, when you read about some of these tragedies in the paper, and you don't have a connection, it's easy just to go by it. But they bring it's a real human tragedy what's going on with our youth.
Right.
You know, and you know, we need to make a statement, you know, that, you know, we need to do more. The police do a good job, but like you said, it's good to have role models in the community and people that can look out for these kids, you know.
Right.
And, you know, that's what we're trying to do.
Leadership through example. Go ahead.
It's a credit to the family that, like Peter just said, with this event is so close, to still be willing to come in front of a crowd and tell the story. And you know, it's a visual for the people that it kind of hits home when it's close to home. You know?
Right. It's a serious subject. It's something that, you know, a community like Lynn needs. We need to have that guidance. Leadership through example. That's the best way to really put it, and you guys are doing it too. I want to thank you guys for coming on to the program. That's Saturday, September 26th, 4 to 6 p.m. At Barry Park is where it starts. The Commons Gazebo is where it ends. It's the second annual Walk for Peace, organized by the Stop the Violence organization here in Lynn, Massachusetts. I want to thank Peter Capano and John Ford for coming on the program. I also want to thank my staff, David Riley Jr. and Pedro Diaz. That's it for what's happening from the studio here at LynnCAM TV. I'm Sean Donahue, wishing you all the best.